Hey guys, Marcus Maintenance, episode 28 of Guess the Trade. I'm hoping to get this in before it starts storming and raining. It has been doing that all week in my area. It's been very hard to film anything this week. And today is going to be a reload episode. And what's meant by that is these are people who have already participated in the Guess the Trade. So we know what their trade is, but they've got a new bag, a new setup, some new tools, whatever it might be. So we're going to see what we can learn from that, whether it's just some new tools in general that maybe we don't know is out there, or maybe it's a total different bag and you get to see that loadout to see if maybe that bag is a good fit for you. So I think it's still good to look at these. But before we jump into those, let's talk about episode 27. We looked at Tim B, who had a lot of nice tools, a lot of different bags. He had that CLC backpack, also a Milwaukee tote, a Vito DP3, and then a Vito MB5B with all kinds of tools in there. Well, what was it that he did with those tools? He said, I am a one-man HVAC company, which is what a lot of us were guessing. If you were like me, you were kind of guessing more towards commercial and industrial only, but he said he does residential as well because he basically does it all. And then as far as his bags in his comment, he even said that his CLC backpack was for his overflow, his Milwaukee tote was for installs, his DP3 was for quick service calls, and then his MB5B was his rooftop bag, because of course it's a backpack as well as a bag that you can throw on and climb up on a roof, so it's going to work well for that. So that's what he did with his tools, that's what he did with each bag. But let's go ahead and jump into the reloads today. We're going to look at two. We're going to look at Evan Bunch and then also Bruce Lay. Well, the first one that we're going to look at is Evan Bunch. He was back in episode 5. He had a tech pack, and he said that he was a residential electrician. So we know what his trade is. He's a residential electrician. Well, today he's going to be showing us his Vito Tech OTLC, and he told me specifically what he does with this bag. So since we know he is a residential electrician, we can look at the tools in this bag, and I know, so I'm not going to guess. But see if you can think about what does he do within his field with the specific tools in this bag, because he has this bag set up for a certain process. So see if you can figure that out as we go through these, but let's go ahead and jump into those tools. So again, here's the outside of his bag. It's the Tech OTLC. It's that open tote and then the LC. So we can see right here is his setup. He's going to pull all these tools out for us, but so you can see the loadout. And again, we're trying to figure out what does he do within residential electrical work with this specific tool set. There's the front side. Here's the other side. Looks like he's got lots of T-handle hex keys. Also got some hammers up in there. A Milwaukee, looks like probably a surge, electrical tape, all those kinds of things. We'll go to the next picture. Up here's a bit holder side. Let's see if I can zoom in and see. That looks like that's some sort of maybe a keychain light or something like that. And then those look like the Knipex grippers for the either pliers, wrench, or cobras possibly. We'll go to the next picture. So here's some of the tools that are on the outside of the bag, I think it was. So he's got basically black, red, white, and green. So he's phasing out stuff as far as taping those things. Also has a 16-foot magnetic tape measure. He's got the little Klein ratcheting quarter-inch style little thumb ratchet, I guess is what I'm going to call it. Also the bits that came with that. He's also got the Fluke non-contact voltage tester. He's got a Pika style pencil. Looks like it is a high boom. I think I might have some of those that somebody gave me. I'm not real sure. I think I've tried those. Those are decent pencils. And then he's got the Pika ink as far as the black. Also looks like he's got a Husky punch. I think that's the Husky. It looks like one that I have as well. And then a couple different Sharpies, a gold and a black. So we'll go to the next picture. So here's some of the hammers that are in his. So he's got basically a kind of a dead blow style hammer, also a regular hammer, and then a sledge. Looks like his sledge is Hyper Tough. His other one is Craftsman. I think the regular hammer might be a Craftsman as well. He's also got some oxide inhibitor. That ought to be a sign for you. And then he's also got some glue and different things like that. He's got a Milwaukee Surge, again M12, some rags. I'm trying to, I should probably know what this is, but it's drawn a blank to me. Maybe it's the position in which I'm seeing it. I'm not sure what that is right there. So let's see. We'll go to the next picture. Up in the top corner, he's got a, looks like possibly Weehaw strike through slotted screwdriver. Also a couple different ways to strip some bigger cable. He's got the inside part of his Klein or I'm assuming it's Klein, could be Milwaukee possibly. The nut driver set, I guess he's using that, and then he uses a pair of pliers or something maybe instead of using the actual handle. He's also got some big ratcheting cutters, ratcheting cable cutters. He's got the Holstery Magmaster, that's the newer version. A Milwaukee pouch, and then inside that I'm assuming he's got the strippers. I don't know if that's the 6-in-1 or 7-in-1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure if that's a 6-in-1 or a 7-in-1. Also has the Knipex 180 pliers wrench, a pair of Lyman pliers, I think maybe Milwaukee. I'm going to guess Milwaukee on those, but, well, maybe not. They're smooth grip. Those might be Knipex, because Milwaukee's, I'm not sure if they've got that unless they're the Made in the USA version. And then he's got 2 torpedo levels. One is an Empire. I'm not sure what the gray one is. Next picture, here's all those T-handles. I don't know that we'll be able to pick up sizes on them. That one's a Torx of some kind. That one's Weehaw, and probably, I'm going to say 1/2 inch. I can see something looks like a 2. Also some Phillips and slotted demos from Klein. The super screwdriver, or the flip socket anyways. I don't think that one holds the bits in the handle, so that's just a 7-in-1. And then down here are a bunch of hex. So I'm seeing, I can't really see a size on any of them, so can't tell you what those are to help you out any. And I think that might be the last picture, because he didn't have very many pictures. I think that is. I'm not being able to scroll anymore, so look at those tools. So he's got hex keys. He's got demo drivers, big cable ratcheting cutters, big cable dismantling knives and strippers. Also, he has oxide inhibitor, phase tape, non-contact voltage tester, those kinds of things. Again, here's the bag from the outside looking at it in, if you want to take one last look at that. And then as far as Evan Bunch, again, we know that he's a residential electrician, so this is a loadout in which maybe you've been looking at the Vito OTLC and you thought maybe I'd like an open tote, but how would I load it out with my tools? Hopefully that helps you with this, but try to guess down below what you think Evan does with these specific tools in residential electrical. I think that's a good thing to kind of play with as far as for our normal game. Guess that down below if you can, and if you got any questions for him, make sure to ask that as well. The only thing I'm not real sure what it was that big metal chunk of something. It's probably something, looks like a magnet or something almost, but it's probably something that I should know what it is, but I don't for whatever reason, seeing it in the view that I'm seeing it right there. But let us know in the comments below what that is, Evan. But also, if you've got questions for him, drop those down below as well. That's the first loadout in the reload. Next, let's look at Bruce Lay. He was in episode 9. He had a Tech MCT blackout and then a TPLC. Today, he's got the TPXD blackout and the SBLD. He told me that he bought these because he was trying to force himself to carry less tools. And what was it that he did back in episode 9? He said that he was a dairy robot farmer. So he's like the 10th one of those that we've seen in this Guess the Trade. Just kidding. That's something that we probably won't see again. That's just not a normal title that we see. But basically, he's a mechanic, and he works on dairy robot equipment as far as that goes. So let's go ahead and look at his new loadout and his TPXD and then his SBLD and see if there's anything that we can learn from that. So looking at his truck setup right here, you can see the SBLD over here on the left, and then again the TPXD blackout over here on the side. He also has some pack-out drawers in his truck, it looks like. So there's how he stores them in his vehicle. We'll go to the next picture. Here's the TPXD is what we're going to start with. You can see the outside of his bag here. He's got the Knipex shears, also some snap-on or a snap-on screwdriver, something else there, probably a snap-on as well. Looks like a pick, and then some tapes. Next picture, he's got some pair of, looks like some sort of a hose plier. Also a, looks like a hex snap-on. He's got 3 written all over it, so maybe that's a 3mm. He's also got a bighorn brass hammer, it looks like there. So next picture, that looks like one of the V-swap panels. Maybe he's moved that around to the back side so he can throw some quick stuff in it. Going on to the next one. So here's the tools that are probably on the outside there. Looks like he's got a bit check from Vera. It also looks like he's probably got like an advent calendar set by the color on that one. I also think I saw the screwdriver. Maybe we'll see it in a little bit. Again, there's the Knipex shears, snap-on screwdriver with the Vera also wrap adapter inside of that. There's that pick, the hose clamp. So there's all the tools that we saw on the outside. Toothbrush. Looks like some little parts maybe in a bag. Stuff I'm sure he uses. We'll probably see some stuff that we have no idea what it is. Next picture, so here's the XD kind of from the front view with the flap opened up, what all you can fit inside of that. And again, he's going to pull these out, so I'm not going to go to town looking at each tool, trying to figure out what it is. But if you're looking for maybe you've looked at this bag, you've wondered about it, just to give you an idea of what kind of tools you can fit in it. Here's a top-down view. So he's got lots of snap-on tools, lots of different, looks like Vera and snap-on are his main tools of choice by the looks of it. We'll go to the next picture. So here's some of these tools. I couldn't get this one to rotate for me, so we're going to look at it here. So he's got several snap-on, looks like metric wrenches. Also Vera small screwdrivers up there, snap-on small screwdrivers. Looks like a foldable magnetic parts tray. Also a 180 pliers wrench. Some Torx T15, T10. He's got several snap-on pliers, different ones. So he's got some diagonals there. He's got some kind of long reach pliers as well. He's also got the Vera, I think that's a 816R. That's probably one of those ones that you can press the button maybe. I'm not real sure if that is or if that's just a handle. I still haven't bought one of those. I've been wanting to try the one where you push the button on the handle and it pops open and kind of make that your super screwdriver handle, but I haven't done that yet. So we flip over to here. He's got several snap-on slip joints. He's got a regular pair of slip joints, the HJ46 ACFs. He's also got a stripper and a crimper. He's got a Mac tool pair of diagonals right there as well. And then here he's got that LN, I think that's 46 ACF if I remember right, 46, 47. I can't remember what the numbers are on those, but those are phenomenal pliers. I absolutely love those things. Let's see, he's also got some snap-on, an 8mm, and then he's also got something there that's got a ratcheting end on it as far as the wrench itself. He's got some pins, an ink saw, a snap-on ratchet, 1/4 inch it looks like. He's also got the 180 Cobras, the 200 twin grips, or the only pair of twin grips that you can get right now, 250 Cobras, and then several different sockets and hex keys over here as well that will work on his ratchet. So he's kind of got it fine-tuned down to exactly the tools. He knows what he's going to need. So he's got those there. Next picture. So now here's the outside. So that's all the tools that are in his TPXD right there. So now we're getting to the SBLD. Here's the side of that. So you can see those. Some of those tools, we can tell what they are. It looks like a maybe Klein non-contact voltage tester. Also some brushes. We'll go to the next picture. Here is a torch on this side, Pica 3030, some different electrical tape, lots of little smaller screwdrivers. Also a pair of, can't tell what that says right there. It's blue and yellow though. I'm not sure what the brand name on that is. Looks like a pair of flush cuts or also diagonals, however you want to look at that. Again, I was having a hard time getting these to rotate for me while I was out here. So brushes, also a mirror, also a snap-on, looks like Phillips screwdriver. Another pair of the LN. I can maybe read what, I can't never remember what the part number on that one is. I want to say it's like 46 ACF or something like that. But again, he's got another pair of those, so you can tell he likes them as well. He's got an Olfa knife. It's an Ideal non-contact voltage tester, not a Klein, so I was wrong on that one. Here's another Vera. See, there's a little Christmas tree on that. I'm sure that was part of that advent calendar. He's got some little wires too for probably using for jumpers. Here's those blue handles. Maybe I can read it on this one. I still can't tell what that says. I'm not real sure what the brand name is on that. Also some Vera Joker wrenches. Small little pry bar type screwdriver from Mac Tools, Pica 3030. Let's see, there's some more. Those screwdrivers there are, looks like Mac Tools as well. And then he's got that snap-on torch. Next picture, so here is a top-down view. So all the things that we just looked at were on the outside of the bag. So now we're looking at the guts of it again. So here's a top-down view. Now you can't fit as many tools inside of this SBLD up here in the front, but again, you got that compartment in the back as well. There's that screwdriver that I was thinking I saw at the very beginning that kind of put me in that direction of the advent calendar. So here's what's inside of there. We've also got the Knipex pliers wrench, 180. Actually, that might be 150 because that's a 180 Cobra next to it, so it's definitely smaller. Also a snap-on, again, little flush cutter, a snap-on, just regular needle nose pliers. the vessel ratcheting that takes the bit holder. I haven't picked that one up yet either. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. I've been thinking about trying the Annex ratcheting ball handle screwdriver. I saw, you know, Project Pine Hills has had a video for it, but many of you have been recommending that to me. It's probably, out of all the, every time somebody watches any of my videos that has a ball handle in it, they always say, well, I think you'd like the Annex, you know, ratcheting ball handle screwdriver. Again, I'm not a big ratcheting screwdriver fan, but I do like the switch on that one, how it works. It's supposed to be, I think it's a 72 tooth as far as the ratcheting mechanism on it as well. So I thought about trying to get that handle and seeing what I think about that. And again, I could always put a bit holder in it like what you've done here, or what this screwdriver comes with. But he's got that screwdriver. Continuing, he's got a snap-on slotted. He's also got some alligator clips up there. Temperature probe, Klein insulated flip blade right there. Small Milwaukee screwdriver, small Rover, that's a good one. There's that Vera screwdriver. Now that one's one I think where you can push the button and, you know, you got some bits inside that handle right there. And then another pair of snap-on pliers as well. Going to the next picture, so here's that back side. Here's that whole key to the SBLD that makes it a nice bag. He's got that opened up. Let's see what he's got inside of there. Looks like he's got 10 feet of retractable test leads. Also some wire that he probably uses again for either repairs or to use as jumpers. He's got a Klein Tools. It's the CL320 meter. And then I'm not real sure. This looks like a small soldering setup or something. It's probably snap-on as well. It is. There's snap-on on that tips up there. So that's what he's got, along with some small zip ties. I think this thing might be a cover for the solder gun, I would think. I'm not real sure on that, but that's what he keeps back in the back side of that, and I believe that's his last picture it is. So again, here's his setup for his SBLD. There's all the tools that he can fit in it. So if you've been thinking about that bag, maybe you can learn something from that. He's got a lot of nice snap-on tools. Again, I'm not real big into them. I've only bought these right here. I bought those and the bigger size, and they are phenomenal. But, you know, that price point of snap-on is what kind of keeps me from buying them sometimes. So, again, he's got that torch, and then I think the TPXD blackout is something that a lot of people would be interested in, because I don't think I've seen very many loadouts on that. And he's fitting all these tools right here in that TPXD blackout. So again, if you've been looking at that bag, maybe you can learn something about the setup of that, or maybe you got the SBLD during that spring promotion. That's when I got mine. I'm still currently using the SBLD. I still kind of like it. Again, I would still love it if they put a flap on it, but I'm not hating it. Still a really good bag so far. But maybe you can learn something about the setup of those, or if you've got questions about some tools that he has, he's got probably some tools that many of us don't have as far as in the field. I don't ever see very many people carrying snap-on tools in, you know, the type of work that I do anyways. Now, mechanics and things like that I do. But maybe you've got some questions about snap-on tools or something like that. Maybe he can help answer that better for sure than what I can, so drop those questions down below as well. But that's Evan Bunch, and that's Bruce Lay in the Guess the Trade Reload. Again, if you've got any questions for him, comment that down below. Guess on Evans as far as what do you think that he does with that bag specifically in residential electrical. But again, I hope this video was entertaining, useful in some way. As always, stay safe. Have a blessed day. See you on the next video.